Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really happy to introduce you to Lanessa Pettigrew. She is the broker-owner of Pettigrew Realty, and she's known for her involvement in the community. She's a member of the Cobb Chamber of Commerce, and through this organization, she partners with a local elementary school. She's also a certified life coach, and she's active with the National Board of Realtors, Meals on Wheels, and the Women's Council of Realtors. Welcome, Lanessa.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
I'm really excited to hear about you because I understand that you're very active in your community. Can you give me a brief thumbnail sketch about your background and what made you decide to get into real estate?
Well, I got into the real estate industry 18 years ago and realized that it was not the sales position that I thought. It was more of a service position. And to see the looks of the faces when someone gets a set of keys, especially first-time home buyers, it just thrilled me. And so from then, I continued on in the industry, and my motto was to provide excellent service with all of my customers, and that's what I've done. And so from that 6 years ago, when the market, plummeted, I went into the short sales specialist industry, working with short sales, and also that was rewarding to help sellers see a different side of not walking away from their home, not dealing with the whole foreclosure status, but showing them another route to sell their home, and also just leverage that side of the industry. When a lot of agents were leaving the industry, I reinvented myself and worked with investors during that time as well. So from that, I decided to start my own firm, and the vision for the firm is to be a part of the community and give back, especially to those who are not given those thank yous, such as the school teachers and the veterans.
So you work a lot with school teachers, veterans, and police officers now.
Yes, I am affiliated with the national program Homes for Heroes. That is one that is near and dear to my heart. We, as a firm, the agents give 25% of our commission to the hero, which is could be someone in the healthcare industry, police officer, firefighter, veteran, whether active or retired, as well as a school teacher. And what we do is our way of saying thank you. If they list or sell their house with us, we will give them 25% of our commission as a gift.
Wow. So that can be very helpful to help somebody get established or even reestablished with a home. And often those are the very people who are the backbone of our community because they're serving, and they often have families and children in the local schools and things like that. So what would you say is the area of your business that you are the most passionate about, and why?
I would say the area would be first-time home buyers. They have always been near and dear to my heart. First-time home buyers are, they look for you to guide them. A lot of times people have bought homes, sold homes, they're empty nesters, they've bought 3 or 4 investment properties, but that first-time home buyer, they're looking for guidance, they're looking for you to kind of hold their hand, and I tell other agents that real estate, you're not just an agent, you're a counselor, you have to have that listening ear, and just be there emotionally for your clients, because it is a big step. Buying a home is one of the largest purchases that a person would do in their lifetime, typically. And they want to trust someone with that purchase who's going to guide them and give them the correct information and handle their transactions in a professional manner.
Wow, that's really interesting, because I love that when you said you have to have the listening ear, because that is really important, to have a real estate professional who actually listens to you and helps you not only find the home of your dreams, but helps you find one that you can actually afford and live in, for a long time. Some people think it doesn't matter who you get as an agent as long as they get to see the property. What are your thoughts about this perception?
I think that it does matter who you get, because you're building a relationship with this person. You're spending a lot of time with them. They're opening up to you, even in areas, sometimes I have a seller call me just to tell me what happened on their job or some financial, issues that may have occurred in the past. They need to have someone that they know that they can trust and literally, just care about what they're saying, and not just another client to mark off, their sales list. But it is important to know that you have a person who is gonna be that friend to you, because that's how I approach the whole, client relationship. I come to them as a friend who has, who's going to be there and look out for their, well-being.
So in what other ways do you think that you're different from your competitors or other real estate agents?
Well, I can tell you that my phone doesn't turn off at 5 o'clock. That's one thing. If someone has a question, they know at 9 o'clock they can text me. And a lot of times those things happen where, especially with first-time home buyers, they've heard something from another family member or a friend, and they start panicking. And so they're like, okay, Lanessa, is this true? Can this actually happen? So just being there for them and not, saying, okay, my door closes and, I'm off at 5 o'clock. I be there, I'm there for them, and I'm known, to answer my phone, when they call. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on. No one rarely hears my voicemail. I try to answer every call, even if I have to say I'll call you back in 30 minutes. I try to give them a live voice on the phone.
Wow, you care. I think that's the thing that I'm hearing, because a lot of people, they don't put that type of personal energy into things. What are some of the most important things that someone who's buying a property should know?
First of all, before you go out and buy a property, I would say speak with a loan officer or a lender and let them take a look at your finances. There are people who, may want to buy a $400,000 house, but at this time they can only afford a $200,000 home. And even if you can afford the $400,000 home, sometimes it's just not in your best interest to go to your top dollar when you're purchasing a home. So I tell people to educate yourself, even go to a home buying class. And I've had people who want to skip out paying for an inspection because they feel like it's a waste of money. And I tell, people that a house may look really good on the inside and on the outside, but it's getting into that home and having it thoroughly inspected so that you'll know what you're getting into. So I have talked people into getting an inspection because I think that's very important. But the whole overall home buying process, I have a sheet that I send my buyers to tell them step by step what the home buying process entails. And if you have questions, we can go into more detail about those particular steps, because earnest money, due diligence, contingency, those terms are not common terms that people use every day, So it's about educating, the buyer and letting them know what the whole process is.
Can you talk a little bit, maybe not go into every single step, but what would you say are probably the most, the first 5 steps that you go through on your way to getting ready to go look at homes?
The first 5 steps would be, first of all, getting all of your financial documents together and speaking with a lender. And then understanding what earnest money is and what it actually goes towards and how it works, because there are, parts of the contract where a buyer can lose their earnest money if they don't understand the importance of dates. And I tell my buyers dates mean everything. So the pre-approval, understanding the earnest money, and knowing the location, because some buyers, I live in greater Atlanta, so you can go an hour and you're still in a part of an Atlanta area. So I ask my buyers to narrow down the location that you want to be in. And that's key, so that we're not driving from one side of the city to the next. So understanding your location, understanding the process of once you narrow down the location and you find the house. And a lot of times I tell my buyers to put down your wish list and what's important to you, so that we can find those things that are important, because a lot of times we won't find that perfect house. And also letting them know that once we find that house, the next step would go into having the home inspected, and understanding that at that point they can walk away and get their earnest money back if the inspection did not, come out the way they expected it to. So I think those steps would be, getting your loan processed and understanding what you're approved for and what your interest rate would possibly be, and your house payment, what your down payment would entail, and then making sure you have your earnest money, and then narrowing down your location and finding that home and getting a reputable inspector to inspect that home.
I think the location is really important, because I've been on the commuter side of things, and that is something that you really have to look at, is if you are working, how long does it really take to get back and forth to work? Because at that moment in time, when you're infatuated with the property, you may think, oh, an hour and a half is okay, that's nothing. But after a while, you multiply that out, and you say, oh, well, I'm on the road 4 hours a day going back and forth to work. And if I had been smart, I probably could have found something, that was 5 to 15 minutes away, because that is something I think that I know it's happened to me, where I became very infatuated with a house, and you're absolutely on target. Those inspections, oh my goodness, there could be plumbing problems, roofing problems, bug problems, in Florida, sinkhole problems. I mean, there are problems that you really don't want to inherit when you buy a property. You are somebody that I certainly would want you on my side if I was going to be buying a house. Tell me about some recent business or professional or even your volunteer accomplishments that you're the most proud of, and why.
I can say the most recent would be through the Cobb Chamber of Commerce, where they had a program called Teacher for a Day back in March. And I said, okay, I'll go. And you basically go in to see how it is to run a classroom for a day, and you had to spend at least 4 hours. So I let them choose the school. I said, I'm not going to choose what school I want to go to. I'll let the chamber choose the school. I did the Teacher for a Day, and I absolutely fell in love with the classroom. Now, my children are older, college graduates, college students, high school students, and so I taught a kindergarten class for a day, which I read to them, helped with math, and like I said, I fell in love with these students. And after that, I decided I would continue going in, because there was not a classroom mom, I'll go in and bring snacks and other things that the kids might need for the class, and the teacher really appreciated it. So I continued going in and volunteering, and I spoke with one of the ladies at the chamber about how I could partner with the school. So I got that information. I spoke with the principal and one of the parent-teacher liaisons, and we put it in writing, got it in writing, where Pettigrew Realty is now partnership with this elementary school. And I'm going to be partnering with them for the school year of 2016-2017, which means I'll be involved every quarter with some type of community service and giving back to the school, which I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about that program.
Wow, that is phenomenal. That is an excellent idea to go and help at a local school. It makes perfect sense for you to give back to your community in that way. Speaking about that, that shows me leadership. What are some leadership qualities that you look for when you're either out, in the service community or in working with real estate sales professionals in your own office or in your own community?
I love the partnership with other companies, especially with the Homes for Heroes program. And, my partnerships could be a company who owns a storage facility who would like to give our heroes a discount for using their, storage building or whatever. But as far as the leadership, I look for someone who is committed and who really has a passion for other people and a passion for serving. And I can say that, the Meals on Wheels, I've been doing this for a while. And I have a route, and I do it 2 days a month, and just going in and seeing the faces of the, elderly who enjoys having a hot meal delivered to them. So I look at, when I listen to people, I listen to, their story and what they have done and what their commitments are. And, of course, we're in a sales position, and we're all about the sales and the numbers, but also I believe that our commitment to others is very important. So when I'm looking at agents or other partners who want to affiliate with the Homes for Heroes, through Pettigrew Realty, I'm looking at their dedication and their understanding, because some of my partners that I have now, I have a closing attorney, Nicole Pettis, who is a veteran, so she gets it. She understands that the giving back and the way of saying thank you. So I look for that. I just look for those who are committed and dedicated.
Commitment and dedication. So what do you think is the key to your success?
I think the key to my success is that I don't focus on the numbers. I don't focus on how many sales. I focus on my service, and have I provided an excellent service as if this was my mother, or if this was my brother or my sister or my husband or my children. I want to treat them as if they were my family member. And so I think with my success, I get a lot of referrals just because I go over and above, and I operate in an area of excellence in everything that I do.
Phenomenal. So what are one or two things that you might say to a prospective client who is listening to this interview?
For a seller, I would say if you're really interested in maybe selling your home, to reach out to an agent like myself and get a comparative market analysis, what we call a CMA, and see if the property value is where you would like for it to be to put your house on the market. And also, before you commit to putting your house on the market, have an agent come out and preview that home and give you some tips, maybe with decluttering or maybe with touch-up paint, or maybe with, some cleaning, some professional cleaning that needs to be done. I run into it a lot when I see showing houses where the agent could have done a better job in communicating with the seller. And I won't blame it all on the agents, because a lot of times you can communicate, with the seller, and they maybe don't have time to do some of the things or the resources to do some of the things that need to be done. But I would say with a seller to take your time and gather all the information that you need in order to put your house on the market, and think about the process of where you're going to be moving, because right now we're in a seller's market where houses are just flying off the shelf because there's not a lot of inventory. So I tell sellers, be prepared to move very quickly because your house is not going to stay on the market. If it's priced right and it shows well and in good condition, it's not going to stay on the market long. But as far as a buyer, I would tell a buyer to really educate yourself in the home buying process and gather as much knowledge and ask as many questions. I tell my buyers all the time, email me, text me, call me. There's not a dumb question. Ask me whatever it is you feel like you may need to know, because a lot of times on the agency, and we can assume that, the buyer already knows this or the seller, already knows this, and that's not the case. So I let them know up front, there's not a dumb question to ask. All questions are good questions.
Great. So if people want to find out more information about you and your services, how can they do that?
They can give me a call at 678-793-3403. You can shoot me a text. You can email me at pettigrewrealty@gmail.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Pettigrew Realty. You can follow me on Twitter. I love to tweet inspiration and motivational tweets that keep you encouraged, that keep you motivated, at Pettigrew Realty. Tweet at Pettigrew Realty. And I'm also on Facebook, Pettigrew Realty. Or, like I said, shoot me an email, a text, 678-793-3403.
So everyone, she gave you every possible way to contact her. And remember what she said, she normally answers her phone. So I would take her up on that offer. I really, really appreciate all the time you took today. And I'm inspired by your commitment to your community and how you're helping out that local elementary school. I just think that is a fabulous way to give back. And of course, the Hometown Hero program, that sounds like a fantastic way to honor the people who work so hard for us every day.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for having me. I really appreciate you spending the time with me, and I enjoy, just our conversation. Thank you so much.
This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.